Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me today because we have some very exciting General Hospital news to talk about, and it's definitely worth the wait. Hey folks, let me tell you what's got me all wound up this morning. I was watching General Hospital like I do most days, and boy, the writers really threw another curveball with Nina Reeves. That woman just can't catch a break, can she? I saw the whole thing unfold and my heart was pounding right along with hers. Nina, in one quick move, snatched that syringe from little Wiley's toy truck and stuck Jack Brennan before he could do any more damage. She stopped him and Valentin from fighting over that gun, but now she's staring at a paralyzed WSB agent lying on the ground. Poor Nina, one minute she's protecting her family, the next she's got this big mess on her hands. I tell you, life in Port Charles never lets you rest easy. What's she gonna do now? That's what I keep asking myself. Brennan is out cold and can't move, and Nina's the one holding all the secrets. In tomorrow's episode on May 11, Valentin's going to start questioning her about what was really in that syringe. I got a feeling she might finally open up to him. She could tell him how Willow slipped that paralyzing drug to Drew, making it look like a stroke. From what I see, Willow had been putting pressure on Nina, but deep down, Nina would have helped her daughter anyway. That's just the kind of mama she is. You know, one thing I've always liked about Nina and Valentin is how they're willing to move heaven and earth for their girls. No matter what trouble they're in or how messy things get, when it comes to their daughters, they'll do whatever it takes. That kind of love, fierce and unconditional, reminds me of the old saying we have around here. Blood's thicker than water, and a parent's heart don't know how to quit. I'm sitting here wondering if Valentin's going to step up and make one of those bold, risky decisions to help Nina out of this jam. These two have been through fire together before, and something tells me they might do it again. It's dramatic, it's emotional, and it keeps me coming back every single day. Man, I can't wait to see how this plays out. Nina's got a good heart under all that trouble she finds herself in. What about you? You watching too? These stories sure do pull at your heartstrings, don't they? I tell you what, the further this storyline goes, the more my old heart gets wrapped up in it. When I heard Jen Sidwell was the one who supplied that paralyzing drug, it all started making sense why Nina looked so overwhelmed. She's probably going to sit Valentin down and tell him the whole truth, every last bit of it. I can just see her pouring her heart out, hoping he understands she never meant for things to spiral this far out of control. One minute she's trying to protect her daughter, the next she's got a secret agent lying helpless on the floor. Life sure has a way of piling troubles on a good woman like Nina. The writers threw in a smart little detail the other day that really got me paying attention. Nina was talking to Drew about his weekly dose, and right then it hit me that means poor Jack Brennan is going to be stuck paralyzed for a whole week, maybe even longer. 7 full days of him not being able to move or speak. Can you imagine the stress? Nina's already worrying herself sick about where to hide him. Willow's house is out of the question. With those little ones running around, all the caregivers coming and going, and people from the office popping in at all hours, it's just too dangerous. One curious child or one nosy visitor and the whole secret would blow sky high. Nina's got enough on her plate without adding that kind of disaster. That's when my mind started racing about what Valentin might do. That man's got ice in his veins sometimes, but when family's involved, he can be bold as brass. I wouldn't be surprised if he decides to move Brennan over to Carly Spencer's place and tuck him away up in that big old attic for a while. Lord, I can picture the scene already. Valentin showing up at Carly's door looking serious, explaining they've got themselves a paralyzed WSB agent who needs hiding right under her roof. Knowing Carly like we do from all these years of watching, she'd probably freeze for a second, then her eyes would flash and she'd let out one of those classic Carly outbursts. She doesn't take surprises lightly, especially when it involves her house and her family. But after the first shock, she'd roll up her sleeves and start figuring out how to manage it. That's just her way. Still, I bet her blood pressure would shoot through the roof for a good long minute. The whole situation has me thinking about how far parents will go for their children. Nina and Valentin both carry that same fierce love in their hearts. They've made plenty of mistakes, Lord knows, but when it comes to their girls, they'll walk through fire. That's what touches me most about this show. It reminds me of real life, messy, complicated, but full of that deep down loyalty that keeps families together even when everything's falling apart around them. I'm sitting here in my chair, coffee in hand, wondering how they're going to keep this secret for a whole week without it exploding. Every day brings another twist, and I can't help but feel for Nina. She's got a good heart, even if her choices keep landing her in hot water. These characters have become like old friends over the years. You fuss at them, you worry about them, but you keep cheering them on. General Hospital sure knows how to pull you in and not let go. I'm counting the hours until the next episode, just like the rest of you folks out there. I tell you what, this storyline on General Hospital has me completely hooked these days, and I can't stop thinking about it. Pretty soon, Carly is going to pull Nina aside and give her one of those real sharp, straight-to-the-point questionings that only Carly Spencer can do. You know how she gets eyes locked on you, arms crossed, not letting a single word slip by without digging deeper? She'll want the whole truth from Nina's own lips, no sugarcoating. I feel for Nina so much right now. She's going to have a tough time explaining everything without accidentally letting Carly catch on to the terrible things Willow has done. That's a mother's worst nightmare, isn't it? Trying to protect your child while the walls are closing in around you. Nina's walking on eggshells, and my heart just aches for her. We'll have to wait and see how she handles that conversation, but I have a feeling it's going to be intense and full of emotion. Then there's the bigger problem waiting down the road. Once that paralyzing drug starts wearing off, Nina and Valentin are going to have to think fast and come up with a solid plan. They can't keep Jack Brennan hidden and helpless forever. Maybe Brennan will find a way to get his hands on another gun if they need to buy a little more time, or perhaps the two of them will figure out some clever way to make sure he stays quiet and doesn't cause more trouble once he can move again. Lord, the tension is thick. Every choice they make feels like it could blow up in their faces at any moment. I keep wondering what I would do if I were in their shoes. It's easy to judge from my living room, but when family is involved and danger is this close, people do things they never thought they would. What really has me sitting on the edge of my seat is how Carly might end up right smack in the middle of this whole mess. The way the writers are dropping little hints, it sure looks like she's going to start suspecting that Drew's so-called stroke wasn't what it seemed. Once Carly gets a whiff of something fishy, she doesn't let go. She's protective of her own, and if she starts connecting the dots, she could find herself tangled up in this secret too. Can you imagine the fireworks if Carly learns the truth? That woman has been through so much already, and now this. It just shows how one bad decision can ripple out and touch so many lives in Port Charles. At the end of the day, that's what keeps me coming back to General Hospital year after year. It's not just about the drama and the twist, it's about watching people who feel real, people who love their families deeply but make mistakes just like the rest of us. Nina's heart is in the right place, even when her choices get her into hot water. Valentin may be complicated, but that fierce love he has for his daughter is something I respect. And Carly? Well, she's a force of nature. These characters have become like old neighbors to me after all this time. You fuss at them, you worry about them, you cheer for them, and sometimes you even shed a tear when things get heavy. I'll be right here in my favorite chair with my coffee, counting the hours until the next episode drops. These stories pull at your heartstrings in the best way, reminding us that family loyalty runs deep even when life gets messy and complicated. How about you folks? Are you as wrapped up in this Nina and Brennan drama as I am? Let's keep watching together and see how it all unfolds. I have a feeling the best, or maybe the wildest parts, are still to come. God bless these writers for keeping us entertained day after day.